So, welcome YouTube, welcome Twitch. You can see your chat is up there. Enjoy, have fun. We're going to do Dreamhack predictions. So, it gets a little complicated. It gets a little bit weird at some points. I'm actually surprised that 1 and 8 are actually in the same group at first. I guess, never mind, that they shouldn't play each other. Never mind, shouldn't matter. Anyway, all right, so let's get into it. So, Dreamhack. New format slightly. It goes from groups of 4 to groups of 8. There are best of 5s on day number 1 as well, so those are welcome changes. The groups of 4 versus groups of 8, basically the only thing that you have to worry about is there's no rematches on the same day. So you won't have to worry about like a team getting beat by a certain team and then coming back and beating them later and then they tie 1-1 and who advances. So we won't have any of that. So that's the only thing that you have to worry about in these groups. Everyone is here. There are 17 RLCS teams, including Tainted Minds and the 8 from NA and 8 from EU. It's going to be absolutely nutty, which means we have to at least have one exit as well. And also, there's 2 rival series teams from Europe that qualified, so they have a top 8 seed. So it's going to be getting a little wild here. Where's Waffle? She's upstairs. Yeah, so let's get into it. Let's start with group number 1, the Cloud9 group. They have Team Secret, which is now, the Melon Squad, I believe. Who had a good showing in the qualifiers, but they got the 8th seed. And then G2 is in this group, Savage and Rogue. So we got 4 RLCS teams and Team Secret, or now the Melon Squad, who is a rival series team. So one of these teams has to go home today, one of them. And it could very possibly be G2 versus Rogue, as we see down here. That's how the seeded predictions go. But we're going to cross things out and make our way around this bracket. So I haven't looked into all the bottom teams, the ones that are not RLCS yet. I'm still working on some notes from them in case we see them. So I'm not going to talk too much about them. I'm just going to have them exit early. So put it that way. All right, let's get into it. Cloud9 War Kids. Cloud9 should win that. Cloud9 will move on to the winner semi. Now, the only thing that you have to know for the bracket purposes is if you win 2 games on day number 1, you're into day number 2. If you lose 2 games on day number 1, you're out. Same exact thing for day number 2. And then the finals is a single elimination bracket. Best of 5s and quarters, best of 7s and semis and finals. So Cloud9, they get the first win here as the number 1 seed, which I believe probably, like, if you had Vegas odds, I would have Cloud9 probably the most likely to win this tournament, barely. But there's a bunch of teams that have a chance, so it should get a little interesting. So one thing to keep in mind, these first 2 groups are playing first. So Pool A and Pool B. There are 2 games. Now, we will show 1 winner's quarters game, and then we'll go into just qualifier games, basically. Very, very likely. Like, I don't know exactly what's going on with this, but you're either going to see Savage Rogue or Splice Tainted Minds, because those are the 2 big games in this first round. So 2 RLCS teams battling it out in the first round. It's the only ones in any of these brackets, I believe, that has 2 RLCS teams battling it out. So you'll see one of those 2 games very, very likely. So let's get into it. Savage Rogue. It's kind of 2 different tales here. Savage was slumping for a little while, but they showed up at the Renegade Cup, which showed that the rules were a little wonky and it wasn't the greatest teams and a lot of rosters have changed, but they only lost 1 game the entire tournament. So that's a good sign for Savage. So they're looking hot. Rogue, honestly, looking miserable. They haven't had a good result yet. They even went into an Astro tournament where they lost in like the second round, I believe, in the Astro Monthly recently. So Rogue, not looking fantastic. But now we're getting to LAN, and it's funny because it's kind of a rematch of the grand finals from Dreamhack Leipzig of 2018. We got Kronovi versus Bluey, and we're going to be talking about this a lot of how different everyone is from Dreamhack Leipzig 2018 to Dreamhack Leipzig 2019. I'm pretty sure, I haven't done the full research yet, but I don't think there is a single team that has the same roster at this Dreamhack from 2018. Cloud9 wasn't there, and Energy was playing with Torment. So I don't think there's a single roster. There might be somewhere. I'm not positive. Splice, maybe? Splice, I think, might be the only one. But I was going to I'll look that up and have that as a note on the desk. But Savage Rogue, I feel like Savage has that momentum going. Rogue is still trying to figure things out, and I can't give this game to them until I see something better. And Savage is extremely fast, and I think will probably throw Rogue off where like they're still trying to figure shit out. So I got Savage here, and they're moving on up there to play Cloud9, which is a banger of a game. That's for sure. Next up, we got, oh man, now I'm going to have to start erasing stuff. I screwed up here. There we go. G2 versus Mindset. Well, G2. Advancing Secret versus Exalti. We'll have them advancing. So, winners semifinals. Cloud9, Savage, Secret, and G2. There's so many good games. There's so many good games that we're going to see. I have Cloud9 in this one versus Savage. I think Cloud9 is the better team. I feel like they both do kind of similar stuff, except Cloud9 probably does everything technically just a little bit better. But Savage definitely has a pretty good shot here because of momentum. But I think Cloud9 will win that game and move on. We got Secret and G2. I think G2 takes this one. I think Secret had a really good run in the qualifiers, but I'm not sold on that team just yet. And I think G2 barely is on the up and coming because they almost didn't even make the bracket for WSOE, but then they showed up there. It's so weird because all these teams, if like one game goes differently, the story behind that team is so different, right? Like if G2 has one worse game on the first day of WSOE, then they're out. And then people are saying, well, G2 sucks, yada, yada, yada. But they didn't. They wound up beating TSM, and then they go and they beat Dignitas. And now everyone's like, G2's the greatest. And it's like, but they could have easily been the worst at the same time if one game goes differently. It's the same with TSM, right? They win E-League where they could have easily lost to Flipside on day number one, and we wouldn't be talking about TSM at all. They wouldn't beat TSM probably, and it was just one game difference. It was they were down 3-1, and they came back and won that, and then they win the bracket. And it's like, well, now they're one of the best in the world. It's like, I don't know. Like I feel like there's so many teams right now. There's probably, in my opinion, reasonably 12 to 14 teams in this tournament that have a chance to win it. G2 is definitely one of them. I don't think Secret is up there yet, but I'm going to have G2 winning that game. Now, say they would have lost, they would have played Rogue, which would have been really fun to see who qualifies Kronovi versus his old team, but that's not going to happen. So we got Secret here, so I'll put G2. Oh, God. G2. So they advance there. I'm just going to really quickly swap out some things here. I'm going to actually erase that so we don't have to see that. So Secret would advance normally here, but this will be G2. Bam. Look at this. Quality content. It's over there. You'll see it later. And then the other game would be Secret versus Rogue. I think this is an interesting one where it depends how Secret's looking in their early games because we just don't know what we're going to see. Like, obviously, they qualified. They've been kind of frustrated by the Renegade Cup and just like a bunch of different things. And I don't know where their mindset is right now. I'm going to go Rogue here, though. I think Kronovi maybe pull out some clutch stuff. I think that team will be better than what we've seen from them. And if not, and if they lose this, then they're in major danger going into the RLCS. I think this is one that they have to make at least day 2 on to have some confidence going into the RLCS. No one wants to have another bad result before the season starts. But I'm going to go Rogue here. So we're going to sub out G2 here. And that'll be Rogue. Here we go. This is quality, guys. Quality content. Bam. Oh, look at that. Rogue. Okay. So, we got Rogue moving on. Secret losing here. Bam. Quality content. All right. So, that's the upper bracket. So, basically, that means we have Secret is out. And these guys are out. Okay. There you go. So, Pool A. We're done with Pool A. There you go. Pool A is done. Let's go to Pool B. So, Pool B, we got Energy, Ghost, Flipside, Splice, and Tainted Minds. Holy hell. The only group that has 5 RLCS teams in it. And it's this group. So, one of them is going home. And Tainted Minds got the 17th seed, by the way. And we see Rogue had 18. I believe the only one worse was Mouse Sports. Yeah, Mouse Sports wound up with 19. So for the RLCS teams. So Tainted Minds did not get a great seed because they don't have an international win yet. And it doesn't get easy. Like, it's not like they get to play someone easy to start off and get that monkey off their back, I guess. But they get Splice early on. So that should be a very interesting game. Splice hasn't been looking all that great lately. I don't know about Tainted Minds and also their travel. Well, I guess their travel is probably about equal to Splice, I would say. So probably both have traveled a pretty far distance. The Energies will beat Hi-Fi. It's cool. Hi-Fi has, I believe, a mod for Garrett G's Twitch chat, and they're extremely excited to play Energies. So that's kind of cool that we get some players that are, not pro level, but they get to play against like those players that they like idolize. So that's pretty neat. But Energy will win. Maybe though we'll give a game to High Five. We'll give a game just for fun. So Energy wins. Splice vs. Tainted Minds is the interesting one. I'm gonna go Splice until I see Tainted Minds beat an international team. I will not give them a result. Simple as that. They need to beat one of these teams. When they went into the World Championship, I talked to CJ, and he said they kind of were overthinking things, that they didn't play their style. They didn't play just full-on offense. They went a little bit more passive to play against the high-powered offenses of the world's best, and that's just not their play style, and I think that kind of backfired on them. But still, they haven't won yet, and I usually don't pick OCE, so I can't yet. So we'll have Splice moving forward there, so this match is fine. We'll cross names out here, I guess. Make it a little easier for you guys. So that might be easier in the long run. Okay. Well, we'll leave those for now. But, all right, flip side, they'll advance. Ghost will advance. Ghost versus flip side is an interesting one. We'll start with that one. Ghost versus flip side. Ghost is looking pretty good. They have some momentum coming in. And flip side obviously looks really, really good because they won, obviously, WSOE. I'm not sold on Flipside yet, and I know Ghost made a huge improvement. Like, I think Flipside is very similar to the old Flipside, where they're near the top tier, and then, like, if they get a couple games going their way, they can win a title. And I think that was the same at E-League, where they almost beat TSM. And I don't think they, like, improved necessarily over Yukio. It's probably very similar. Ghost has definitely improved, but I don't think it's enough yet. So I got Flipside moving on there. And Ghost will come down to play Tainted Minds if they beat Hi-Fi. But I got Flipside here. I'm not sold on Flipside being like the best team in the world or anything like that. Like I would still probably put them behind Cloud9, Energy, probably even Dig still. And I could see them above TSM. But in my opinion, going into this tournament. But I have Flipside there winning. So they would advance. And that means they take Ghost spot. So that would be right here. F3. It's going to get confusing, but whatever. It's not a big deal. We're just having fun with these predictions. So flip side there. So they take over, what seed is that? The number 7 seed. So because flip side won, they take over that seed. So they'll have 7 seed going into Pool A tomorrow or on day 2. Next up, it would be Ghost versus Tainted Minds. And, well, I forgot about Energy Splice. I'm going to go Energy here. I don't expect Splice to take down Energy, and I think Energy advances pretty easily. So next, Tainted Minds versus Ghost. I think, I got to go Ghost, because I was saying that earlier. We got to go Ghost. So we'll go Ghost here. GG. So Ghost would move on, just because I need to see Tainted Minds beat an international RLCS team before I give them a victory. I can't predict them unless they look really good in their first matchup. But of course, like these will change on the day. We'll see how that goes. So GG advances. Where's Flipside? There's Flipside. We'll put GG. Bam. There you go. Splice should advance as well. So this is the lower semi that kind of sucks. That's the one you don't want. So this first game, so important for Splice and Tainted Minds, because whoever loses that game very likely plays the loser of Flipside Ghost. And that is not what you want. You would rather be playing these other teams. So that's a very important game in the grand scheme of things to try and advance out of this group. But we'll have Splice moving forward as well. So Splice will continue with their spot. So don't have to worry about that. All right. So that is Pool B. So there's new teams in here. Lots of fun. Pool C. All right, the TSM pool. TSM and Complexity in the same pool. They probably won't play each other, but that's always fun anyway. So we got TSM, Complexity, Vitality, EG, Nordovan as well. MCon, who's been looking good. It's a tough pool, but we'll go through it quick. Winner quarters, I'm going to go across the board. Actually, so this match, watch this match. Like, this match could be one of those first upsets. Nordvin could beat EG here, but I'm still going to give it to EG, but that's upset alert. Upset alert there. Vitality should win as well. Again, another upset potential here, but I don't think MCon will take it. I think Vitality will be better than what we've seen. But again, I'm usually on Vitality's side with, like, I think they're going to play better, but they haven't shown it recently. And then Complexity should win their game as well. Next up, we got TSM EG. I'm not sold on EG, but the one thing that is good for them is they're going to a LAN. And they always play well at LANs. This could be upset potential as well. Depends how they play against Nordvin. But for the time being, actually, let's do it. TSM loses here. I got EG here. This is going to make this even weirder. EG is going to pull the upset. And we got EG. Boom. They're going to pull the upset. So that's an upset potential versus Nordvin. But if they look good there, they have a shot here. That's the one thing that I like about EG. The one thing I hate about them is that they moved to Seattle. So I think during RLCS League play, it might be a little hard for them. And I'm not sure exactly how well they're playing with Drip A yet, but we know that Drip A's a LAN boy, and EG always performs on LAN. Like, they usually perform, at least at the World Championships. Not necessarily in every single tournament, but they have a shot here. I think they have a shot, and this is upset potential, and we're going to have fun with this bracket. So we're moving EG above TSM. So TSM will come down here to play MCon, and TSM, spoilers, will move on. So TSM down there. So we got TSM here. We're just going to make this look terrible. This is going to be great. TSM, bam. So they're still in to the next round. Spoiler alert there. Complexity versus Vitality. This one should be interesting. Complexity made a team out of nowhere the last second, and they performed extremely well in the European qualifiers. Vitality's been struggling, but they, like, still, even when they struggle, they were making runs in the lower brackets of qualifiers and then would just barely fall short. This is one of those. It depends how their scrims are going. Complexity, definitely pretty much no pressure on them, I would say, in this game. Vitality's got all the pressure. I'm going to go Vitality, though. You know me. I'm a Vitality fanboy. So we're going to make this even weirder. All right. So Complexity, you're done on this one. Vitality. Bam. This is going to be fantastic to look at the end of it. All right, so we'll go Vitality there. Just listen to the words. Don't look at the screen. Just don't look. All right, so Vitality moves on there. So that means Complexity's down here. I'm going to say Complexity still makes it through. So that would be Vitality normally. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right, good enough. Complexity down there. All right, pool number D. We have barely any teams in their same bracket, which is why it's going to be so interesting to see how this all plays out. The one thing I think teams should not worry about is where they're going to sit on the next day, like what seed they get. Because basically, like, so say take pool C. If you win this group, like if you're in the top 4 here or whatever, and EG wins this, then they're the 3 seed going into the next day. But none of that matters. By day number 2, everyone's going to be like an RLCS caliber team, and it's just going to come down to winning 2 games or losing 2 games. I wouldn't worry too much about your seeds. Just advance. As long as you advance, you still have a shot. That's all that should matter about these teams. Like, I don't think these teams should worry necessarily. Like, if TSM loses versus EG, it doesn't matter all that much, because if they advance, who cares? Because there's going to be, like, both these groups are going to be stacked. It's not really going to matter. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, Dignitas, they'll beat. And Triple Trouble versus Mouse Sports. Mouse Sports hasn't really shown anything to me. Like, before they made the roster move, they didn't have good results. They still made that roster move, and they really haven't shown up. So I think Triple Trouble wins that pretty easy. And Casio's look pretty good with them. So we'll go that. PSG should win. Bread should win. So we move on. All the top seeds should win that first game, which probably won't happen at all. Dignitas versus Triple Trouble. I got Dig here. I think Dig will be looking better and better, and it's still Turbo and Violent Panda, who are nuts, and they know how to win, so I got Dig there, which means we don't have to move Dignitas. They stay in the same group with Cloud9, so that's good. Next up, Bread versus PSG. Whew, this one's tough. Bread's been looking good. Like, Bread's been looking real good. PSG also been looking really good. Both teams that are relatively hot. PSG has more experience. For that alone, I will give that to them here. So Bread loses, PSG wins, which means we got to swap some stuff around. Bread has a high seed, as we can see here, the 5th seed, because of their great showings in both qualifiers and just all around. They've been killing it. But and plus because they qualified. So once they qualified, they had to be seeded 5 through 8. And so they got the highest seed possible that they could get. And so they're the 5th seed here. But I got PSG winning that, which means we got to move more stuff around. Goodbye, Bread. PSG. Boom. Perfect. All right. Which means Bread's down there. Bread versus Mouse Sports. I got Bread in this game. I'm just going to say that right now. Bread moving on versus Mouse. Boom, boom. Bread, which means, where's PSG? There we go. PSG. So people are just swapping groups like crazy. We'll do BR for Bread. All right. Next up, we got, so that was this one, so we're good here. I don't really care about this. So, once again, very important game, Triple Trouble versus Mouse Sports. You get a much easier game to make it, say you lose later on, if you win that game. So, Triple Trouble shouldn't have trouble there. Didn't mean to make that pun, but we did. So, Triple Trouble moving on. And that's where they're supposed to move on. So we're done with that. All right. Hold on one second. So we're going to move on to day number 2. So we're going to go wee. Boom. This is how we do, baby. All right. So day number 2. We don't need the bracket just yet. We kind of need the bracket, actually. We need that quarterfinal game. So let me move this over. We need the quarterfinal round. That's all we need right now. So, let's get into it. All right. Bye-bye, smiley face. Day number 2, where it's going to be probably 16 RLCS teams. We might see an upset here or there where someone else comes in. Or, I'm sorry, not 16 unnecessarily, because there'll probably be like a complexity, might make a run, and so on and so forth. But we'll say 14 RLCS teams at the very least going into day number 2. So, Cloud9 would play Splice, and that game is still normal because Splice is down there. So, we got Cloud9 versus Splice. I got Cloud9 in that game. The next game would be Ghost versus G2, which is now Flipside versus Rogue. So, we got Flipside versus Rogue. Let's put an R. I got Flipside here, so you don't have to worry about that. So, Flipside would move on versus there. Because, Rogue, we'll see. I'm excited to see what Rogue brings because they haven't shown anything, and I think they're definitely more capable than what they've shown. But I got Flipside there because Flipside's been looking pretty hot, and then that sets up Flipside versus Cloud9, which should be pretty spicy. Next up, we got Dignitas versus EG, which now would be TSM. Oh, the spiciness just continues. I'm going to go Dig here. I'm going to go Dig, advance it on that one, so cross out TSM. And then we got Complexity, which is now Vitality, versus PSG, which is now Bread. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right. So, Vitality. Bread. I'm going to go Bread here. I think here's where we start seeing some upsets from Bread. And Bread pulls this victory out. So, they move on. So, that would leave Dignitas versus Bread. And Cloud9 versus Flipside. All right. We are winning. Screenshot this. Nice. All right, AJ. I want to see it. I want to see it. It's going to be really weird seeing Crow in a Rogue jersey, though. That's for sure. Cloud9 versus Flipside Tactics. I think Cloud9 gets the revenge game here, and they move on to try and lock up another top 4. They'll be at least top 8 at this point. So Cloud9 will move on, and they will stay that seed. So Flipside would go down to the lowers, where Ghost is. And Dignitas versus Bread. So, if seeds go correctly, Dignitas and Bread would play in the quarterfinal day and day number 3. But obviously, we've thrown that out the window. So we got Dignitas Bread here. We'll go Dig. We'll go Dig. So Dig will hold their seed as well because they won all the way through. So Dig would be there, so that's fine. Bread moves down to where Complexity would be. There you go. Bread down there. And now the lower quarters is... Oh, God, this is going to get very confusing. So G2 would be Rogue, and Splice would be Splice. So two NA RLCS teams battling out. I think Rogue wins that. Splice has been on downstream. Rogue obviously has been too. I think there'll be a very close game. I just think Rogue has a better chance to be more improved than what Splice is right now. So I'm going to go Rogue in that game. So that would be, they would move on to play Bread down here. Rogue. Bam. So again, guys, on the day, don't worry about where teams go into the next day and like any of that. We will tell you when upsets happen. We will tell you what certain matchups are. But again, just worry about if you're rooting for a team. If they win 2, they're in. If they lose 2, they're out. So Rogue goes down there. I think this is correct. We might have confused some stuff, but that's fine. So Splice would be out. And whatever, we'll just cross that out. So the other game would be EG, which is TSM. And PSG, which is not Bread. It would be Complexity because I had Vitality losing. Okay, so TSM. So this would be a lot of NA versus NA and a lot of EU versus EU. And guys, don't worry about watching either because this will obviously be correct. So you don't have to worry about watching either. Vitality versus TSM. I'm going to go a little upset here again. I'm going to go TSM's out. I'm going to go Vitality. Move them up here. And Vitality moves on. So that's where they would go. Next up, Flipside versus Vitality. I'm pulling another upset. Vitality makes bracket stage. They start showing their potential. Vitality moves on to the bracket stage, so that would be in place of Ghost. So this one would be Vitality. All right, hold on one second. Okay, Vitality's there. Next up, Bread versus Rogue. I got Bread, baby. Bread's coming through. They would take the spot of Complexity. So there we go. Bread. So there we go. We have our 4 teams. I'm not going to cross them out here, but we got Cloud9, Dignitas, Bread, and Vitality coming out of Pool A. Next up, Pool number B. We got Energy versus Savage. That is normal. I got Energy in that game. I think Savage has a chance. I think Savage has a good potential to create some upsets here and have a chance to win this tournament. They're one of the names I would put in that list, but I don't think they beat Energy here, so they're out. Or not out, but just down in the lowers. And then we got Secret versus Flipside, which means it's G2 versus Ghost. All right. I'm going to go Ghost here. I think Ghost is going to pull the upset here. So we're going to move Ghost up here. I think they've been playing well. Like G2's playing well as well. But Ghost, in the last 2 times they played, they swept G2 and they lost to him in Game 5. And I think with more time, I think Ghost is one of those teams that we could see make a World Championship run this season. Illusion looks pretty good with them. I thought that he might not be the answer, but so far it looks like he is. So we'll see how that plays out. But I'm going to go Ghost there, which means where's Flipside down here? So this would be G2. G2. And then we got TSM, which is EG. Versus Triple Trouble, which is still Triple Trouble. I'm going to go Triple Trouble here. I could see another upset happening. And this is why don't worry about your, where you are. But I think, Triple Trouble is one of those teams, when they had speed, they were definitely a World Championship contenders. Sorry about the text messages. And even with Casio, that they still look pretty good. And I'm excited to see how far they go here. I think Triple Trouble could be one of those surprise teams that makes bracket as well. But I got him here so far. We'll see if I have him in bracket. I honestly don't know. I'm just winning this. I'm just winning. Next up, Bread versus Vitality, which we had that game, I think, up here at some point. Oh, we haven't had that, actually. But they're not playing each other here. It'd be PSG versus Complexity. So, PSG versus Complexity. I'm going to go PSG here. I like what they've been bringing to the table lately. They almost made it out of the WLSOE bracket stage. They kind of just got screwed by tiebreakers. But I like them here. I like them here a lot. So that would be PSG versus Triple Trouble. Okay. And that would mean Complexity comes down here. Okay. And then Triple Trouble is still Triple Trouble. No, I had them go up there. So that'd be EG. EG. Boom. Perfect. This looks gorgeous. I don't know why anyone would ever complain. Okay. Energy versus Ghost. I think Energy will still make it out of this. I think Energy has been playing a lot better than what we saw towards the end of last year. They just seem more consistent again. We'll see if that holds. But I like what I'm seeing from them. So Energy moves on. Energy holds their seed, so we don't have to worry about switching anything. Triple Trouble versus PSG. I think PSG wins this. So that would be what, Bread down here. So Triple Trouble comes down here. PSG is one of those teams that has also been looking extremely good lately. And it's been working. So PSG, I'm going to say it's going to continue to work, and you're going to move on. So they would take Bread's spot. PSG. Okay. Next up, we got... Oh, boy. Secret is Ghost. And Vitality... Oh, man. Who was Vitality again? That was Complexity. We haven't done these matches yet. Savage versus G2. Didn't they play on day number 1? Or no, did Savage play Rogue? Savage played Rogue, so they didn't play on day number 1. Savage versus G2. I'm going to give this to Savage because I think G2, what they're trying to play right now is just the full-on pressure style. Like, complete pressure all the time. And don't worry about boost. Just pressure, pressure, pressure. And then they leave themselves open to counterattacks a decent amount. And I think Savage is one of those teams where they have players that can pull off crazy stuff, that could confuse G2, beat out a member or two while they're trying to put on all that pressure, and get good counterattacks. And I think Savage could take that game. So I'm going to knock G2 out here, and we're going to move Savage on to wherever they're supposed to go. I don't even know where they're supposed to go down here. So Savage, moving on here. So Savage is there versus Triple Trouble. The other game is EG versus Complexity. Oh, man. Let's go EG. Let's go EG. I kind of want to pick Complexity here. But we had EG winning against TSM, so I guess we should be a little consistent, even though Rocket League is not consistent. But EG will move on there as well. So EG versus Ghost should be very interesting. I think Ghost is going to win this, actually. I think Ghost is the better team, at least right now. Of course, we haven't seen a lot of EG, so who knows? Maybe EG is looking better now. But I'm going to go Ghost. So that would be in spot of Secret. Here you go. Here you go, Ghost. Ghost advances. They were very close last time to make it to day number 3, but just barely missed out at Leipzig last time. So there we go. EG, you're done, even though I had you win that game. And then Savage versus Triple Trouble. I think Savage wins this. So Savage would take the spot of Bread. Oh, wait, maybe not. Oh, God. Oh, God, guys. I think I screwed something up. Hold on. All right. Let's see. Where's PSG? Oh, no. PSG was Bread. Oh, that was wrong. PSG was supposed to be TSM. Oh, boy. All right. PSG. And then Bread is supposed to be Savage. We'll just cross this out. Don't worry, guys. Very, very readable, obviously. There you have it. We're down to our bracket stage. And the only people that held their seeds was Dignitas, Cloud9, and Energy, according to me. Everyone else is different from where they first started. And this, again, is why. Don't worry about your seed. Don't worry about anything. Just win your games. And whoever you play is whoever you play. It's going to be a completely stacked tournament, so I wouldn't worry about it. So, Cloud9 versus Ghost. I got Cloud9 here. They will get another top 4 finish because Cloud9 is Cloud9, and they know what they're doing. So, Cloud9 moves on. They hold serve. Savage versus Dignitas. I'm going Savage. Savage is going to advance. I think Dignitas continues their curse of single elimination losses. and they come in 5th once again. So we're going to go Savage here. So they'll play Cloud9, I think, for a second time. I can't remember, guys. It's been a day. Actually, maybe not. Oh, no, yeah. They played up here. They played all the way on day number 1, which you guys can't see. So they'll play there. So Savage will move on. And Dignitas Curse will be 5 single elimination games in a row that they lose, or matches that they lost. Energy versus Vitality. I'm going Vitality. Why not? Actually, do we want 2 tournaments in a row where 3 NA teams are top 4? That's the question. That's the real question. Is that even possible? Does NA know how to do that? I'm going to go Vitality because I don't think NA knows how to do that twice in a row. So we're going to go Vitality here. Vitality moves on to the semis, and everyone's going to start talking like, Vitality, are they the best team? Oh, my God, they look so good. And then PSG versus Bread. Get that Bread. Bread moves on. They take down PSG. 2 very hot teams battling out in the quarterfinals. Should be an exciting game. But I got Bread moving on there. Next up, Cloud9 Savage. Cloud9. We predicted them earlier. I don't even know why I'm writing Cloud9. They're already in the finals. Cloud9, the number 1 seed. They hold serve throughout the tournament, go to the finals. And Bread versus Vitality. Upset. Upset. Bread, baby. Bread continues their streak. And guess what, guys? Guess what at the end? Bread, baby. Bread are your champions. There it is. You saw it here first. Bread's going to take this entire tournament. They're going to get that bread. They're going to get signed by Optic. All is right in the world. Smiley faces for all 3 of the boys. And there it is. Bread are your champions. Don't even watch Dreamhack, guys. It's all right here. It's all in the notes. It's all in the notes here. Boom. There it is. Whole grain all the way. Bread, you are your champions. We will have 5 different champions in the last 5 lands. That's never happened before in Rocket League history. Bread pulls it out. Best of 7 thriller. Goes to Game 7 overtime. Somehow Justin scores the 0-second goal to send it to overtime for Cloud9. And then Bread wins anyway, 10 seconds in. Somehow Justin swapped teams. We don't know exactly the rule book per se, but that's how it's going to happen. Bread will be your champions. Boom. There it is. 3 happy boys. Or they could be out on day 1. They could be out day 1. They could win the whole thing. Who knows? Who knows? But it should be a very fun tournament, guys. The main thing here is every game is stacked. Like, pretty much. At least there's a couple day 1 games that aren't. But for the most part, we're going to get what? Let's see. Let's count them. I'm just going to count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'd be 16 games on day 1 that are absolute bangers at least. We'll go 18 games on day number 1. Day number 2, every single game. So that's 18 games on day number 1 at least. Then day number 2, that means what? There's 6 matches total for each group. So that's 12. So that's 30 matches that are bangers at least on day number 2 or total. And then we got 7 matches left at the end. So 37 matches, I am guaranteeing. 37 matches are bangers, at least. At the very least. I think the total matches are around 50. But it's going to be a lot of fun. And make sure you watch Dreamhack Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It starts at 11 a.m. European, German time. I don't know what that is. I think it's Central European or something like that. Means 5 a.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. Pacific for the East Coasters and West Coasters out there in the States. And like streams are going to be long. It's going to be 9 hours-ish on day 1 and day 2. Day 3 be a little bit shorter because there's less games. The quarterfinals are best of 5s. And then it goes best of 7s for semis and finals. But should be like 7 hours long-ish. That will be starting at 10 a.m. So it's even earlier. 1 hour earlier because we have to be done before Dreamhack closes. Because, that's part of the thing. Like last time we ended and like no one was there anymore. So it'll be starting at 10 a.m. Flower Power. There it is. There it is. Flower Power. All right. That'll do it for the predictions. Thank you guys for watching. Again, if you want to watch what exactly happens on screen, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's rewards. Go for it. At the end of the day, everyone's going to get that bread, watching bread take down the champions. So there you go. I am done here for the YouTube portion. Goodbye. And we will go back to some games in a second. Thank you very much.